This is the final video in the 3-part series of how we drove an old Volvo 4,000 miles across Europe and Asia. Last time we left off crossing the Turkish border. Turkey is a pretty big country. The route we wanted to take was over 2,000 kilometers to get to the other side. Because we were on a time crunch, we decided to get it over with pretty quickly, so we could spend some more time in Georgia as well. That's why we don't have that much footage taken in Turkey. Anyway, all we saw pretty much were big highways. Losing Casper earlier in the trip also meant I was doomed to drive the rest of the trip myself, as I was the only one left with a license. But at least the diesel was cheap, at 60 cents per liter. Close to our hotel that day was a nice nature park. It might look familiar to you, since this place is also used as a Windows background. It was a nice park with some quite spectacular views.
Let's go.
But I don't really know what was happening here.
Ado doing Ado things.
Wee.
The next day, more driving through a lot of very empty fields and deserty areas. Very typical also to see in Turkey were these tofas. They are usually modified and can sound pretty crazy. We had a great hotel that day with a gym, spa and nice massages included. Traffic in Turkey wasn't too bad as long as you avoided city centers. Very specific speed limits. 82 kilometers. We found a great cafe in the next town we stayed at, where they were playing Christmas songs in the middle of October, but they did serve some nice desserts. In our hotel room we had these little cubic things for water instead of bottles. Can someone tell me why and how are you supposed to drink this? Here we are, the day we've been waiting for all this time. We arrived at the Georgian border. It wasn't easy to get across, we had to split up. I had to go through with just the car while the other guys walked through customs. It was very unclear where to go or what to do, as you can see by this picture. But luckily we eventually found each other again. Well, guess where we are? We're in Georgia!
Georgia!
Oh, almost crash.
Car crash.
Accident. And new insurance.
Straight
for
away.
this?
So we had to split up again, but this time I had to go alone through the border, fully. But we made it, no problems. Nothing can go wrong now. I hope.
Hyped, Ado?
Hyped. We haven't been arrested yet.
Yet.
We'll see you guys later.
We had an incredible hotel in Batumi that day, a big apartment on the 42nd floor of the Twin Towers. Yes, that is a little weird. Batumi is a beautiful city, lots of culture, tourism, interesting places and restaurants. Because everything was very cheap for us, we ate that day in a fancy restaurant at the top of another hotel. Georgia honestly surprised us. We picked this country randomly as our destination, but it turned out to be one of the most interesting ones of the whole trip. The people are great and usually friendly, there are many cool things to see along the way, both nature-wise and culture-wise. And the Grand Tour was right. There are a lot of oranges and lemons along the roads of Georgia. They are literally everywhere. We decided to spend a day at the beach, where some very sweet stray dogs visited us. We kinda wanted to take them home with us.
Zijn met de vibes, met de dog.
Hey.
Dog. Look, it's a stick.
The next day we went to Martville Canyon, an impressive place, but it is pretty small. There was a nice canyon boat ride included though, which was amazing.
Back again with another cramp in my left arm.
Malaria met op mijn hand. Oh my god. I'm with YouPhoenix. Subscribe now. YouPhoenix.YouTube.
Afterwards we went to Okatse Canyon, which is all about heights. Not so fun fact, I am afraid of heights, so I wasn't very sure about this one.
Ga je al zweethandjes van?
Are you scared?
Not yet.
To get back to our car, we got in a taxi. It said it was going to be off-road, but we didn't expect it to be this great. The roads in Georgia are bonkers. There are loads of animals on the roads. People transport anything in any way they can. Driving here really means expect the unexpected. This was the moment where we crashed our car. Sadly, we weren't filming at the time. Basically, what happened was this. We had to cross a railroad, but the tracks were way too high for our car. We had no choice but to try it though. So our car slammed on the track, scraped across it and almost got stuck. Realizing the danger of being stuck on an active railway, I hit the gas and after some more bangs and scrapes, we made it across. Luckily there was no real damage, except for a broken tow hook. Probably the scariest moment of the trip. After a nice dinner with some interesting drinks, we stayed with a nice family that day. The youngest of them spoke decent English, and as tradition in Georgia, we had to taste their homemade wine while they told loads of stories about their country and culture. Time to cross Georgia on our way to the capital. They are still building the main highway through the mountains, which is being done by Chinese workers. Everything around here was Chinese. The signs, the buildings, and of course the people. We wondered if we might have traveled a little too far east. On our way, we stopped at the Stalin Museum. Here you can learn about Joseph Stalin and see many of his former possessions, including the house where he grew up. That's really the last thing we filmed on our adventure. we arrived in Tbilisi, the capital, where we agreed to give the car to some guys we didn't even know. And in return we got a taxi ride to the airport, where we took a plane back home. All in all, an absolutely unforgettable trip where we learned a lot. I want to give one last thank you to the sponsors of our trip. We couldn't have done it without you. I hope you enjoyed the series. If you want to see more in the future, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.